that I can say he should do to say
That's
he's done it all.
He won that championship. That was it.
You can do everything. He's done everything. He's scored a lot of assists.
The only thing that can cap off his career is becoming Mr. Basketball.
So why is it that when I watch Wild Odom, did I feel like he's the best player? Every time I watch the Wild Odom play, I feel like I'm seeing something special. Like I'm seeing something that I'm not gonna maybe not see again. I said that for a long time. BJ Boston was my favorite high school player in Georgia. I don't get that feeling that I'm seeing something I'll never see again. It's the Love of the Game podcast. We in the building. We live. We back. You understand what time it is? Y'all know what we bring to the table.
Hey, we gotta redo that intro when we get back to the studio. Only thing I keep hearing is you talking. I'm like,
Hey, he the only person who's talking on that, man.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
one for get out the way moment. Just let them have it.
Hey, I have cleared out and let y'all go.
How many ISOs he gonna get, Huff?
Huff, he
Damn.
could Elamine, Huff. He could let Elamine.
John Badger.
Damn, Huff. How many pump fakes he gonna do without passing?
Hey, Herb, they counting my shots already, man.
I know, man. You know, it's crazy. You say you pump faking like Kobe out here, man. What's up?
Hey, man. Hey,
I feel like as long as I'm getting buckets, dog, what's the problem?
Hey, I'm counting shots like I'm a parent in the stands right now.
Yeah.
I'm counting shots, minutes.
Hey,
Hey, you bingo, dog. We in the house. It's official now. I'm happy to bring you guys the guest that we have today. It's going to be an incredible show. This is going to be amazing, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. Not only do we have somebody that is a player, right? A D1 athlete, a pro. We bringing you somebody that also is one of the only minority-owned search firms. Herb Courtney from Renaissance Search and Consulting in the house. Herb, was good?
What's up, man? I appreciate you guys having me on here.
We're gonna have some fun, man. We got topics. We're gonna try to be informative and fun. And I gave everybody a warning. We know how to act in front of company.
Yeah. No, let's do it, man. I'm excited to be here.
No doubt. I want to start with man. Let's start with the fact that you hoop.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We bring so many people on here, and there's always a lot of discussion around like people being in the media that never played or never experienced the game, or people being in certain administrative positions who never played or never experienced the game. You're the CEO of a search firm and you play, so you have a unique perspective about what fit looks like for a coach.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about some of the coaches that you grew up playing for and how some of those guys may have left an impression on you.
Yeah, no, thanks. I probably played since probably 5 years old. So I had a bunch of coaches, and basketball has just been something that's been in my life. And my dad played collegiately at Canisius. My mom played. My sister played D3. My brother is the odd one out. He played football, but so this is something that's always been a part of my life, and I had a lot of great coaches. In high school, I grew up about 20, 30 minutes outside of Philadelphia. I had a Hall of Fame coach, Walt Ostrowski, and he was more of an old school approach guy. Get in your face, and he demanded a lot, but he loved you a lot as well. And I learned a lot of really good things from him. Unfortunately, he passed away, I want to say maybe like 10 years ago from cancer. But, there's lessons that he taught me that I still carry to this day. Like, he was one of those guys that, You know, he was dressed to impress. So every game in high school, you know, some high school coaches, they'll wear, polo or whatever. He was decked out in a suit, right? He's like, if you dress for success, right? So, that's something I always took from him. He was just, even though he demanded a lot, he developed those relationships with us. So, he was a great influence in my life. My college coaches, I went to University of Delaware. So my first 3 years I played for David Henderson, and he, played at Duke he was one of Coach K's first recruiting class with him and Johnny Dawkins, and they turned that program around. So he had a unique, perspective on basketball. I learned my competitiveness through him. Like, he was a competitor. Like, it's just that old school. He's from Carolina, that Jordan mold where they all grew up in the same time era, and they were playing against each other. So, I learned that competitiveness through him and what it takes to grind and work, right, to get to the top of your craft. And then, there was a transition. Coach Ross came in, Monte Ross, and he was a player's coach, right? So he let you do your thing, and he has great relationships with his players as well. So, those three guys have made a huge impact on me and my career, especially on the basketball side. But, the great thing about all three of those guys were they left a huge impact on me off the court as well. I mean, obviously, my dad he's my role model, right? But it's also good having other men in your life that you can look up to. And they provided that for me. So I've been fortunate in my journey because I was able to get three really great coaches, and they surrounded me with resources and things for me to get better and to achieve my goals.
When you're evaluating coaches for fit, are you going back and thinking about some of those characteristics of the guys that you played for and saying, okay, this guy will be a great fit in this situation? You've had experience with certain things like that.
Yeah, I think you got to know the institution, right? I think there's certain environments where you can't have a coach that's MFing you up and down the court, right? I mean, that old school approach, sometimes that doesn't work in certain spots, right? I think you got to know the temperature and how some of these coaches coach their players. And there's so many different styles, and I'm saying one's better than the other, but one is going to better suit that school than, some of those other characteristics. So yeah, that's a big piece of it in terms of fit, right? I think that's a buzzword in sports. And when you're just talking about how does that person or candidate fit within that culture, and there's multiple aspects of it. I think how you coach is one, how you relate to players is another, right? Are you in tune with today's, issues and trends and challenges that, our student athletes are facing, So I think in terms of fit, those are all the things you have to look at when evaluating a coach to whether they're, good for that job or not. I think branding is another thing, and how they brand themselves. Institutions want CEOs, right? Everyone says, I need a CEO. Have that CEO mentality. Well, what does that mean to that organization? And you gotta go ahead and find somebody that fits that profile.
Herb, is that term CEO? That's kind of like the new age term that is kind of flipped recently, especially for African American coaches.
Mm-hmm.
First it was, can we coach and not be a recruiter?
Yeah.
Now we have to be a CEO. What can African American coaches do to prepare themselves to be more of a CEO? Whether they're assistant, is it getting a head job at maybe not a Division I institution? What can they kind of do?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I think a lot of coaches want to know that, right? And I think there's a lot of things you can do that you can control to control your own narrative. So, example, I think, when your head coach is out and they're speaking in front of donors or, their community engagements, that's something that you can do, right? I think that's something that you should put on your plate and say, hey, coach, I want to get out in the community. I want to meet, the influencers that are in our community. because those are the type of people that need to speak with you, and speak about you in a positive way, and need to know who you are. So I think doing things like that. I think getting involved with coaching clinics. I think that's huge, where people can kind of see you teach, and they can value and gauge your acumen in the game. I think that's another big thing that I think assistant coaches can get involved with. And just being on your campus, being more involved with your campus, having those relationships with administrators, your president, can you have that? Are you comfortable enough, having that relationship with someone on the campus or a chancellor? All those things are CEO qualities. And then, you have to, like I said, be in line with today's issues, right? And trends. Right now it's the student athlete experience. How do you delegate that, right? Or how do you handle that? Can you handle situations where, some of your student athletes might be unhappy? How do you deal with it, right? What's your crisis management look like? Because at the end of the day, when you're talking about CEOs, that's what they do, right? They're not on a micro level or on the macro level, so can you operate, up top, delegating things and putting people in places to get things done, so I think that's what, assistants can do.
Coach, I was gonna get out the way on that one. That CEO was a hot button issue, man.
Yeah,
so I didn't want to step on that one, Coach. I know that's why that's one that people were definitely looking to hear. Coach, in all of your, and I say coach because our viewers may not know that you also coached as well. Binghamton University. Tell us about your experience also as a coach.
Yeah, it is. One of the things being a coach is you wear multiple hats and you do so many things, but the relationships you build with your players is something that will last a lifetime. And I think that's the most rewarding thing about being a coach. Like, for me, like last year I got invited to 2 weddings, and, they're telling you about their kids and all that. And you knew them, you recruited them when they're in high school, right? And they're going through life now and they're becoming men, and you have a part in that. I think that's something that's special. And, for them to be able to pick up a phone and call you, when you're not interacting on everyday life, but they can run stuff by you. I think that's how you really can judge yourself if you were a good coach. Are your former players calling you, hitting you up, congratulating you on certain things or milestones? Are they doing that? And if they're not, then maybe you got to look in the mirror and say, man, maybe I'm doing something wrong. But, for me, that's the most rewarding thing. Just the guys I've worked with. I work with, a few assistants. Some have gone on to, different jobs and things like that. But, we're still super close. So, it was a tight knit group. I love the players that I coached. It was a great community because, I don't think too many people know about Binghamton, New York, but it's not a very big community, right? So it's just Binghamton basketball. That's what they care about. And I met some great people over there. So people that I'll have a relationship for, like I said, for the rest of our lives. So it was great. You do miss it. Just the interactions you have, and it's like nothing else when players come in and y'all just chop it up and they just sit on the couch and y'all just kick it, right? I think there's really no other profession where you can do that. You know what I mean? So I do miss that part of it, but what I'm doing now, I think has a big impact, and hopefully, when our student athletes and players from all different sports want to get involved in different careers, now maybe I can have a hand in that. But no, I loved coaching at Binghamton, and it was a great opportunity for me.
Herb, you've been involved. Your company's been involved in some head coaching searches. Do you think your ability that you played and coach gives you a different perspective that a lot of these other search firm companies don't have, per se?
Yeah, I think it definitely separates me, right? I think it helps that I do have that background, that I have played collegiately and professionally and coached, right? I don't think I don't know everyone that's out there, but I can't imagine people have that experience. So for me to be able to add value to an institution, to an AD, that's something that I can provide for them, give them a lens that maybe they haven't seen before or someone hasn't articulated it to them. So, I think that can be a huge advantage for me as I enter this market, because it is a very competitive market. There have been firms that have been doing it for a long time, and obviously I'm the new kid on the block, per se. But I think I add something totally different than some of the other firms that are out here.
So I want to make sure that we clear this up for people watching, because there's a big difference between being an agent and working for a search firm. Mm-hmm. Not two of the same things, right? You guys are actually hired by the school or by the institution.
Correct.
So what the conversations that you're having with administrators, what are those conversations sound like as far as what they're looking for in their head coach? Does it differ based on level or based on conference? How does that work? What types of things are you hearing from institutions?
I think it does. It is based on level and experience. I think, if you're looking at maybe a lower major school and, you don't have a lot of resources, maybe trying to get a coach from a high major that has all the resources might not be the best fit, right? Because, at that level, you got to wear multiple hats. You have to, it's just a different job, right? You got to do more with less, and if you don't have experience with that, you can have some challenges along the way. Not saying those guys can do it. That's just going to be a challenge, right? I think so. ADs want someone who's in line with, number one, the integrity and character. I think that's always the biggest thing. They want to hire someone who they know they can sleep at night, right? Knowing that, this program is in good hands. This coach, he or she can operate and implement a culture where it's gonna lend to a great product on the court and off the court, where students are involved and within the campus community and be good ambassadors, for the school, and also win, right? I think that's also a huge factor as well. So they want to see a track record of excellence. They want to see a track record of, how have you implemented culture and how is that in line with that institution? And I think if your experiences if you can articulate that in the interview process, I think, those are some of the things that they want to see. But the biggest thing is integrity. The biggest thing is culture. What kind of culture you're going to implement, and what does that look like at that institution?
I would love to know your take on universities hiring high school coaches. We've seen that here recently. Bucky McMillan was the hired as the new coach at Sanford. We just had another high school coach from Drew Charter here take a college position. Do you feel like universities are hesitant to do that, to hire high school coaches? Do they have to be kind of ingrained in that community the way Bucky McMillan was, or do you feel like they're just really looking for the best person available?
Yeah, I don't think that's very common. You know what I mean? I think you really have to have, ties to that school and that community for people to really vouch for you. I think, ADs and presidents and chancellors, they want someone who definitely has had a track record of winning at a high level, but on that level, you know what I mean? So unless it's, a legendary, high school coach that's done some great things in that community that can parlay that into a college job, I don't see it really as a trend. I just think it's more on one-off situations. I do think, vice versa, you have seen a trend from NBA guys or, people from that level coming to the college ranks because it's just viewed differently, right? You can win. People can get behind that. I don't know, not to say that high school coaches won't be very successful at the collegiate level. It's just hasn't happened enough where people can really get excited about it unless they've done some really special things and they have, they know that community very well. that AD and the administrators that can get behind that high school coach. But I do like seeing it though, because I think if you can coach and you can connect with kids, X's and O's, everyone runs some variation of some offense. It's a copycat, from an offense. We all learn some stuff that's very similar. So it's not really an X's and O's question, right? It's, can you connect with kids? Can you recruit? Can you run a program? And I think, it's hard to do that, maybe to gauge that at the high school level. And that's why I think, colleges are more hesitant to hire high school coaches, but I'm sure there's plenty of good ones out there that could do it if they're given the opportunity.
Now, on the flip side of that, there are assistants at the college level who always talk about high school coaches have that CEO moniker with them because they've been a CEO of a program. Most high school coaches are over a JV, sometimes a ninth grade program, as well as the varsity program. So they have that CEO part behind them. Do you think maybe a little bit of it is about relationships, just like you said, going back to, are they ingrained in that community? Do they have a relationship with the AD or somebody there?
Yeah, I do. I think it is about that relationship because even at the high school level, depending on the program, it's not, I'm sure they don't have the same budget, a multi-million-dollar budget a college would have, or just a college basketball program would have, you know what I mean? So I do think it's kind of apples and oranges, comparison of what they may have to handle and juggle, and compared to a college coach. But, I think high school coaches have their own, issues that they have because, parents are more involved and, things of that nature, what makes things way more complicated. Right. So, no, but I do think, from assistants, yeah, maybe that high school coach has handled a budget or done some things has overseen a unit or business unit. But at the same time, that assistant coach has the ability to handle their budget. He has the ability to schedule, handle scheduling. He or she has that ability, to get out in front of donors. I think that is very impactful. And, I tell coaches all the time, administrators hire coaches, coaches don't hire coaches. So I think if you can really develop those relationships within that community with the athletic administrators, with SWAs, WADs, and ADs, when those people start talking about you, you're going to get some opportunities, because administrators, one thing they do well, they talk amongst each other, who they like and who's on their short list. And so when they have an opportunity, they call each other and bounce ideas off.
One news article came out that when we talk about opportunities and who they're available to, the West Coast Conference adopting what they're calling the Russell Rule, Bill Russell, where they are the first Division I league to do it, where they are requiring all schools to include a minority finalist for job openings in athletics. I'm assuming that goes past the head coach. I'm assuming that may go all the way through staff or strength and conditioning coaches, things like that. What are your thoughts first, I guess, on the rule and then the impacts from that rule?
No, I mean, first off, I commend Commissioner Navarez. She obviously is very passionate about diversity and inclusion. Being a minority herself, I'm sure she had her struggles and challenges of moving up to this business. And, out of all the conference commissioners, there's only 4 females, right? So she's in an elite group in herself. And there's 9 females, 4 minorities from a conference standpoint. So, she has, she's climbed that ladder and she's done a great job. And I think implementing this rule, the Bill Russell rule, I think it's great. I think it's going to give opportunities to a lot more minorities and people of color. And if they don't get the job and they prepared and they did what they were supposed to do, I think once opportunities start coming around, maybe within that conference, I think those other schools will talk to each other and say, hey, I just interviewed this person here. He or she did a great job. I think you guys should, we didn't go with her because of X, Y, and Z, but, I think you guys should really take a look at, him or her. And I think that's a byproduct of that, right? We have to have a seat at the table. We have to have more opportunities. We have to have the practice of interviewing, right? And being in those situations. And if we're not in that room and we're not getting that experience, we're not preparing, those individuals to get jobs, right? So, like I said, I commend them. I think it's a great idea. And hopefully, like I said in the article, other conferences will follow. Like I'm happy that they blaze that trail and set the standard. And I think other conferences should really look at how they're hiring, where they're getting their candidates from. And if it's not yielding diversity, because if you just look at the numbers are the numbers. That's not me feeling a certain way about it or not. I mean, the numbers are the numbers, and we need to improve that. And having a program like that or having a rule like that, it will help tremendously.
So naturally, of course, this rule, it seems like it comes about following all the stuff that we have going on in our country right now, with addressing like social injustice and inequalities and stuff. Have the conversations that you've been having with institutions at all changed in recent weeks or months? Have you seen anything different?
Yeah, no, it's definitely changed. I think they want to know how they can be better, right? I think obviously the events that happened in May with George Floyd, and it really just put it in our face, and with that whole movement, and just put everything in our hearts and saying, what can we do to make it better? And if you look at sports, there's not just an entity within the space that is just more diverse than sports, right? People come from all different backgrounds, ethnicities, socioeconomic, all that is so diverse within sports growing up, right? Our leaders should reflect that, and our student athletes deserve to have representation, from people from all backgrounds. So, I do think that, this is something that they're really taking a look at. They're having these conversations. Everyone's trying to brainstorm right now. What can we do, to change, and look in that mirror and say, all right, well, this is what we've been doing. Obviously it's not working. All right, where do we need to expand? And, another thing that is, that's kind of happened throughout this whole process is student athletes have found their voice. So they're holding them accountable, right? So, a lot of institutions have put out, they support, equality, and they want to eradicate the inequalities of of hiring process and social justice and all that. Well, how are you going to do it? Right? And those students want to see it. They want to see, and you've seen it with all these articles that are out, that students are so vocal right now and saying, okay, you said this, where's the action? So that has given it a little bit more urgency. And so the conversations have definitely been different. So, which has been great. It's been definitely positive.
I like it. I think that based on all of this, we can really get some momentum in the right direction. I'm okay with somebody telling me that they have a blind spot. I think we all have them, whether we want to admit it or not. Like, we have some kind of blind spot. The issue with having it is that it's a blind spot. You don't know that you have it.
Yeah.
So when somebody calls attention to it, people being able to self-examine, to me, is a positive step. And I won't immediately judge people who are in that self-examining kind of stage to see, hey man, this, I could fall into this category. So I think it's a positive step. Hopefully we'll get there.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think we will. And like you said, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. And, hopefully it's not a moment, it's a movement, and this is going to continue to happen, and we'll just make our, those percentages will change, and there's going to be more opportunities for individuals. So I'm encouraged by it. And I just think right now is, especially from our student athletes, as long as they keep being vocal and telling their leaders this is not okay, we still need to change, there's going to be change in this space. So I'm encouraged by that.
No doubt. I would love for you to take us through a day in the life. Institution X approaches you from Power Conference Y, and they say, "Hey, we love what you do. We have an opening for our head men's basketball coach. We would love for you to be involved." Take us through that process. Are you the only search firm involved? Are you competing against other firms to find the best candidate? How does that process work?
Yeah. So if a school is going to reach out and say, we want to work with you, then I'll be the only, you'll be the only search firm. So once that's solidified, the biggest thing is getting to know that job, the client, the job's, specification, really defining what they're looking for. What is a successful coach at that school, right? And really pinning that down and really getting to know, like we said, fit, like what's the fit here? What's the culture here? What type of person makes it, and depending on the situation, whether that coach moved on or whether that coach didn't get the job done, they had to transition out of that. Understanding that, right? Like, what are the challenges of the job? Each job is not a great job. Everyone has its own issues and challenges. We need to get to know that so we can be upfront, in that vetting process when we're trying to recruit a candidate, saying, hey, listen, it is a great opportunity, but these are some of the challenges that you're going to go into, and you got to be prepared for it, right? And if you don't set that expectation up front, then I think you set them up to fail, right? So it's really defining those key challenges, issues, what makes the job great, and then kind of working out from there, and then building out a list of candidates that make sense, that fit that profile, that's in line with the institutions and the values that they have, and going from there. So, but yeah, to start off, it's when you get that call, it's all right, before you probably would fly out there and meet the president, the AD and all that stuff. Now it's Zoom, right? So we're going to have that call. We're going to talk about it, really dissect it, right? And see what does this job really entail. And then I'm going to work my hardest to get that person that fits that criteria.
Okay. Hey, so Coach, have you considered going back to coaching? Because I was watching the No Limit and Master P, and he just killed going back to hoop. So
yeah.
Are you going to try to? He had all of these businesses going on, but he just couldn't give up the basketball. So I'm trying to see if you're going to get back into it.
No, man. You know what? My coaching days are over. I can appreciate it from afar. Obviously my heart is still always be with basketball, and I can watch it and I know so many people, but when you're on this side of it, right, and you're recruiting a coach for a job, like I feel like I'm part of that program because I had a hand in it, right? I had a hand in selecting who that person was, and I'm rooting for their success, and so that's where I get my fulfillment now. You still get to have that connection with the game, but to answer your question, no, I'm good. I'd rather have control of my career than a 18 to 22-year-old. You never know what you're gonna get with them. You know what I mean? It's a wild card.
Hey, you can't recruit Locke, man. He ain't gonna be happy with you, Coach. So, Coach, and this is my last question, but you gather a couple of candidates. I'm assuming you give a school a couple of options as far as guys to go through an interview. Do you know, or how early do you know in the process, like which one of those candidates a school is really going to choose? Do you feel like you kind of read them pretty well?
Yeah, I mean, I think you know who an AD is favoring in the beginning, right? But that's why you go through the process. And my job is to keep them in line to, when we set those specifications about the job and what he's looking for and what it entails. Through that process, my job is to consult and to be a partner to that AD and keep them in line to what they told me that's important to them, right? So even though they might have a favorite, as long as it's in line with what they're looking for, and my job is to vet, right? I think we need to, do a great job of vetting our candidates, right? And making sure we know everything that we can about them and what kind of person they are. And because obviously everyone's going to have their best foot forward on that interview process. But, what is that, what's your administrator say about you? What does the janitorial staff say about you? What does your support staff say about you? People who've worked for you in the past, what do they say about you? I think that can paint a picture and let you know what you're going to get once that person gets the job. So that's my job, really, to kind of paint that picture for the AD, give them that information, strength, weaknesses, what their former bosses have said about them, people who they work for, people who work for them, and put it on them, say, hey, like, this man or woman, they have done a great job, but what are some areas that improvement that they can work on, right? And just be bluntly honest with me, and you'll be surprised what you get, right? So it's me to take that information and make the best recommendation possible. But at the end of the day, the AD or whoever is kind of chairing that search, whether it could be the AD and the president or the chancellor, whoever's involved, they're going to make that final decision. But I can give them all the information possible about each candidate, keep it very confidential so it doesn't get out, and we can run a seamless process, and making sure that everyone is on the same page and expectations are the same. So when they walk through that door, they know exactly what type of coach that they'll be getting.
I saved the best question for last. We have a lot of players that watch this podcast, players and parents, and we always talk to players about understanding that if you don't make it to the NBA, you can still be around basketball, and basketball can still be your life's work. Mm-hmm. If you could just speak or say something to the kids who are watching about your journey and the fulfillment that you get from still being able to be around basketball as a career.
No, that is a great question, Dre. And if you would have asked me my junior year in college, and you say, well, Herb, what do you want to do? I want to go to the league, right? You know what I mean? Like I put up numbers, I'm training, I'm going to all the trainers and I'm putting in the work. I want to go to the league or play overseas. But at the end of the day, that ball does stop bouncing. You don't know what injury you're going to have. Unfortunately, my freshman year, I tore everything in my knee, right? Meniscus, ACL, everything, right? And, I had to get, through my time at Delaware and then, my little brief stint overseas, I had 2 other surgeries from that. So I knew I wasn't going to have a long career because of what I was going through. So there are so many opportunities to work in sports, whether it's in an athletic department, could be a coach, agents, there's just so many media, right? There is just so many avenues that you can go to, obviously in the professional, like maybe not playing in the league, but maybe you work in the league, right? You start off as a video coordinator or analytics and you work your way up, or you can be in the front office, or you could coach, so there's just so many cool ways to stay in touch with the game. But the one thing that I would implore kids to do is, don't ever burn a bridge, because you never know who is in a position of power or influence that can get you a job, when you want to stay within the game, whether you want to get into college coaching or, in the professional ranks, being a scout or, a video guy, always continue to build that network, because you never know the people you cross paths with, where they're going to be in life. And, I'll leave you with like a short story, like Shaka Smart recruited me when I was in high school, and he was my camp counselor at 5-star. So I think he was an ops guy at the time, and then he probably just got promoted. But you know, if you would have asked me, do I think Shaka Smart's going to be coach at Texas when I was a sophomore in high school? No, right? But to this day, we have a relationship because, you know, we've stayed in touch throughout the years. He, you know, it's a small world. He coached my cousin, right? And, you know, obviously he went to VCU, the same conference as I played on at Delaware. You know, so we just always stay connected. And you just don't know where those guys or girl, you know, or women are going to be, you know, 10, 15 years down the road. They could be the GM of a professional organization. They could, you just don't know, right? So always keep those relationships. Don't burn bridges. Be respectful. You always want to leave a good impression on people. And I think if you do that and they look back and like, man, I remember that, you know, that kid. They were phenomenal, right? They left a great impression on me. That's someone who I want to help, because people want to help people that they know and like, you know, and if you can do that, whether you're getting recruited or when you played, you know, there's been a lot of people that I've crossed paths with the last year that when I played, or, you know, that coached me or coached against me, that remember me, right? And now we have a professional relationship, and they help me right now, right? They're connecting me with people, and they're doing this for me, right? And I haven't maybe talked to them in 10, 15 years, but they remember me. So to my high school kids, that's I would really suggest you guys and girls do that, because you know, people can help you down the line.
No doubt. Brother, we appreciate you coming on. Wish you nothing but the best and success.
I appreciate it.
During COVID, man. Go out, keep getting it, man. Keep helping us put guys in the right spots.
I will. Thank you for having me on.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate it. I still think he's gonna come back. I'm just saying that right now.
It's all good, man. Well, thank you.
All right, man. We'll see you. Lot, we may need to get you a restart, dog.
All right.
Got that Teddy Riley on you, Lot. Oh man, I got something for y'all. As soon as Lot come back, dog, I got something for y'all. I ain't gonna introduce nothing. I'm just gonna play the clip, and then I want y'all to tell me what's up.
You done set us up for the okie doke right here, man.
Hey man, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's on the show notes.
Hey, so
I gotta talk shit because I put out show notes this time.
Yeah. So you're not gonna talk about Ben Simmons messing up his knee?
I seen that.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I seen that.
Shout out to Jonathan Isaacs too. That's tough.
Man, tough.
I hate that.
I don't never want nobody to get hurt. That's tough.
That hurt me.
And the fact that people were saying stuff in the comments, man. Like I just couldn't.
Gross, man.
Yeah.
It was gross. It was gross. Hey, y'all, check this out. I want y'all to tell me what y'all think about this real quick.
I'm not gonna fight what's the best. I'm not gonna fight it. You know what I mean? Like, much as I love Michael Jordan, like, dog, man, LeBron James is the one, dog. He the one, man. That motherfucker is the one. Kevin Durant is the one. Kevin Durant is the one. The one. The one.
Yeah, he's different
like that.
Yeah, he's
different like that.
You know.
I'll let y'all respond.
Hey man, there's no way in hell he didn't say Kobe name. And it came out in the same draft.
But what's he saying? But he trying to. My interpretation is he saying LeBron and KD are better than MJ? Is that the interpretation I'm getting?
Hey, I'm just be honest, dog.
How do you want to interpret? I just played the clip.
Did you see AI? AI was on that gelato. That's it.
I am done.
That's what that is.
Done.
That's what that was. For him to say that?
Why?
Like, you can say LeBron and Jordan.
Hey man, you see that comment that just came in there now?
Why? But wait, why is that so bad for him to say?
That LeBron is better than MJ?
You don't think that longevity is playing a part into AI saying that?
Dude,
The fact
But
We
LeBron,
just
I mean,
seen-
you don't have
we just
longevity
seen
because he didn't go to college.
dude, we just seen The Last Dance. Old boy broke the Bulls up. The short dude, he broke the Bulls up. They could have been winning through the early 2000s.
could have. There's no guarantee that they were going to continue to win.
I think they had one more year. They could have won.
I think I would agree. I think they had one more year. LeBron's on year 17. I'm not saying yes. I'm not saying no. I'm purely speculating on what may have made Allen Iverson say that. Allen Iverson, Hall
I
of Fame.
told you. Either Zuzu, Gelato, it one of those.
Huff, what's that?
I just told. I don't know. I mean, maybe
Was he talking about currently?
we don't know, Bryce. But I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that's what the man said.
So maybe I could say, you know what?
I mean, LeBron is the one.
I can see why he maybe is trying to compare LeBron. But when he went to KD, I just kind of like, you know how like people have a great, they do a great show, and then they just leave the show. The last song is like, you like, what? That's the last song? He just kind of dropped the bomb, and you were like, oh, you discredited everything else you said right there.
Okay.
I mean, my thing is honestly, man, AI is my guy. So if that's what AI says, I'm gonna do AI, man. I gotta go with Chuck, man. I gotta go with Chuck.
That's all right now, dog.
But I mean, of course, Kobe is in that three, if not the best out of those three. But I gotta go with Chuck, man. It's Chuck.
Oh man.
Kind of what I said, dog.
It's Chuck.
Hey, man,
AI.
hey, we talk about this all the time. Sometimes you gotta do stuff to keep yourself relevant, man.
Why does AI need to keep himself relevant? Why does AI
They don't even remember who Michael Jordan was. They don't remember who AI is, so they just
why? But I mean,
Come on.
nah.
Come on,
He's
Huff.
one dude that will never be out of style, though.
then why is Michael Jordan out of style? He was better than
AI
AI.
different. AI is
No,
different than Mike.
That's not
AI,
different.
AI changed the game as far as his dress, his tats, his hair.
Bruh, did you not watch The Last Dance?
commercials.
Did you not watch The Last Dance? There's no AI without Michael Jordan. So what are you talking about?
I get that, but I'm not debating that.
Jay.
That's not what I'm debating. I'm not debating anything.
Okay, you can say Dr. J, but MJ took that thing to another level. They could
I'm
stop have been a Dr. J and still would have
I'm
been
saying,
a
listen.
His own way, AI took that thing to another level.
What I'm
because-
saying
Y'all
exactly.
trying to
AI,
compare AI to another level than Michael Jordan. Y'all smoking crack too.
yes. AI took the culture to another level.
culturally to another level.
I'm not talking about basketball. I'm talking about culture. The dude had commercials. His commercials was crazy.
Y'all act like y'all not still wearing Jordan. Y'all ain't wearing no dog AI shoes.
That's because I don't wear Reeboks. But
And
his
them
still hard, though.
Man, y'all smoking, man.
AI, hey, man,
AI different. AI changed the game, bro.
all
You
the
can't
time.
compare how he changed the game to Michael Jordan, bro. Michael Jordan changed the game across this doggone world.
Okay, I get it. You did. But I think AI took that and ran with it and took his own Virginia, his own hood, his stamp, and he went with it.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, Huff. MJ unintentionally introduced hip hop to the NBA. Unintentionally, because he never liked hip hop, he never supported hip hop, he never stood behind that at all. AI cemented hip hop in the NBA.
AI was hip hop, like he
As
was
a
culture.
in the NBA. He created the culture that we have in the NBA right now.
Michael Jordan created the culture of the NBA worldwide. People
Yeah.
have been watching
For
it.
certain things, though. For certain things.
Culture of the NBA right now, the
It's
dress.
AI.
Hey, nobody was filming them walking into the arena and how they were dressed was not a big deal until AI, dog. AI cemented that into
Dudes got tattoos all up in their own body because of AI.
AI,
It
dog.
doesn't put him on the same level of what Michael Jordan did.
From a culture standpoint, yes. From a basketball standpoint, I would
AI
no.
took it to another level, man.
MJ is AI's idol, so AI.
Yeah.
But from a culture standpoint, Huff,
AI don't need much relevancy.
Y'all think about to me, y'all,
Hey, man,
like,
did you see
y'all think
MJ
about
dancing?
y'all think about dudes sitting on the corner being dime bag pushers. I'm talking about being on kingpin.
I'm bad.
Kingpin. And y'all talking about a dime bag. You the
AI wasn't a kingpin. He wasn't a boss.
MJ's the kingpin, dog. You talking about all over the world, not just
Not for the-
in America.
not for the- hey, dog. Hey, Porzingis listen to 50 Cent because of AI, dog.
There's no Porzingis without MJ because the NBA wasn't
had
even
braids, bro. Porzingis had cornrows. Like, bro. Hey, Huff. I know it's hard, dog. It's okay.
I'm with you, Huff.
It ain't. I know it's not hard because you don't even have a Porzingis. You don't have a Luka.
I'm just saying, look, I'm not saying MJ isn't the GOAT. I'm saying AI's culture is
Totally different animal.
cemented in basketball.
How when everybody rocks Jordans?
That's not the only thing. It's not the only thing. It's not the only piece. You're missing a lot of it. Like high school kids go to college and they take their money and go get tats.
AI swag
Jordans too.
AI swag is still all over the NBA.
They go get Jordans and Chargers.
No tats and Chargers.
No, Jordans and Jordan.
It's all three, honestly, all three.
All three, yeah.
But you know, when AI came out with that arm sleeves in 01,
another thing that took over the NBA. Now everybody wears arm
I got a
sleeves.
kid now wearing an arm sleeve. They still wear them.
They still wear them, dog.
we used to cut up our mom's socks.
Kids are not looking in Jordans. I'll tell you that much.
Hey, let me see Badlock with a sock on his arm, dog.
Hey man, we had to do what we had to do, man. We didn't know what it was. We thought it was a sock.
I'm with you though, Lot. That I mean, you know, I just wanted to play it. I don't want to talk about what he said. I just wanted to play it because I knew y'all was gonna have a hard time with it. It's okay.
I mean, I see you not trying to put the comments up, but you know, it's okay.
I can only see what I can see. Right now, the comments that I see are still from her.
Nah, I see some. Lot, do you see comments?
Yeah, I see you Skip Bell talking about TJ Warren who's been killing in
Man,
the
y'all
bubble
behind,
lately.
man.
Hey, so
StreamYard tonight.
our listeners gotta understand. Y'all gotta bear with us. StreamYard is tripping, so I can't see all of your comments today.
Hey, so the last comment that just came in is from AJ White. He said AI wouldn't exist as a rebel without Dennis Rodman, the original rebel that didn't kill him. So again,
There's always an original. There's always an original.
But listen to me. Y'all comparing like the kingpin of the U.S. versus the kingpin of the world. There is no comparison.
That I think when we talk about culture, there is. I don't think MJ is the king of basketball.
But here's my thing.
Did you see how he was listening to Keith Lattimore?
Listen to me. You can have the king of culture, and I'll be the kingpin who runs everything, including the king of culture.
Okay. I mean, hey, AI wouldn't say that he's a better player than MJ. So I would never say that.
I'm talking about period. I ain't just talking about, I mean, you forgot that Jordan bucked the system at the Olympics. Like we talking about somebody when it was Rocket Reed. Right? I'm not doing that. We're gonna put the flags over that symbol.
No, for sure. MJ gonna get bread.
I think they're just missing the point.
Yeah. Michael Porter Jr. has been balling for sure.
But Michael Porter Jr. need to keep his mouth shut.
That's a fact.
He's saying some stupid stuff.
That's a fact.
Now, TJ Warren has been balling.
And
Hey, you know what? I started to play TJ Warren highlights. But because it's so cliche now, like TJ Warren is a professional scorer. What he did the other night is not new. That's regular.
At all.
TJ Warren a professional scorer, dog. So guys gotta, put some respect on his name. Hey, is Chris Paul still out there doing his thing too?
And he's rocking the shoes. He's rocking the HBCU shoes. So I'm waiting for Morehouse.
Oh yeah, North Carolina A&T's was tough.
Yeah, like I actually will buy those. Like those are hard. Like he had Alabama A&M thing too.
I'm gonna show for the fans. Let's show what those shoes look like. Them A&T's might be the only one that I wouldn't get. I'm gonna put them up though.
Would or wouldn't?
These are A&T's.
Those are tough colors.
Those were tough.
Why would you? Oh, what's that symbol on the shoe again? Oh, okay, but we talking about.
Hey, that's the Jordan
man.
symbol.
Get out of here, man.
Not the
right.
Trump man, Jordan.
So
That's the real Jordan.
These are the A&T's.
Y'all acting like these are some Jordans that are 1 through 20.
Here are the
I don't
A&M.
care. You're talking about
These
what
ain't
you're looking at
retros.
right now, Jordans.
People aren't wearing retros anymore. We can't play basketball in retros. It hurts your feet.
No, you can't.
Nobody's-
Hey,
we understand that, but you're still buying them, aren't you?
Yeah.
I don't. Hey.
Out of these three, those are Howard's.
Those
Them Howard
tough.
are sweet.
Which ones y'all copying?
Them Howard
Yeah.
joints.
I'm getting the A&T's. Yeah, I like Alabama. Yeah. Ooh, them
Howard
are tough,
Vikings.
right?
Hey, them Howard's is
Alabama
tough,
A&M. Go back to the
Howard.
Alabama A&M. Go back to the Alabama
Them
A&M.
Howard's is tough.
See, that's
Nah.
close to my school color, so I guess I got to get that one.
Nah.
them
They need
too.
Morehouse.
Hey, I'm getting the A&T's, man. I got to support Willie.
Them Howard joints. Them Howard joints.
Right now, out of as far as what's been released, dog, I'm getting the Howards, dog. Them Howards,
Them
tough.
Howard joints different, bro.
Them
I do
Howards.
like the Howard joints. I like the Howard joints, yeah. Dang, dude, you tearing that thing up, ain't you?
Talking about boy would listen to Kenny Lattimore like it was a little baby. That's facts. That's facts.
Man, even your man Dave said it's two different levels, Drake.
Hey, so I want y'all to tell me what HBCU school, and you cannot say Morehouse, that you want to see Chris Paul wear. What's going to be the best colorway of all HBCUs? Who got the best colorway?
Albany State and Fort Valley.
Look at
Yep.
that. Y'all homers, dog.
Hold on. What's the question? What's the question?
The question was, out of all the HBCU colorways that Chris Paul could possibly wear, what would be the best colorway for him to wear? And you can't say Morehouse.
Hello.
I would say Clark Atlanta. Pretty good. Black and red.
I'm thinking. Hold on. I'm thinking.
It's hard for him. It's hard for us to block out. It's hard for us not to say Morehouse. Like
It is very hard not to say Morehouse, but
Hey, give me the Centrals, dog. I want to see some Centrals.
no.
I want to see Centrals. I want to see Hampton,
Hampton,
and I want to see Norfolk State.
Norfolk. Norfolk.
Come on, Dre. Don't do me like that.
Told y'all, man. Like y'all been
Come
starting.
on, Dre.
Y'all disrespectful in this thing.
Don't do me like that, bro.
That's
Morehouse. Y'all going with Morehouse. Them joints is hard though.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to. I'm gonna have to.
Hey,
rock
Lock your Uber Eats dude almost there.
You say what?
Your Uber Eats dude almost there.
No, man. This girl trying to find out on hooker lounge to go to tonight.
What? That bad, dog. I don't want to know. My bad.
Leave it alone, Dre. Leave it alone.
My bad, lot. Hey, so J. Cole is getting a tryout in the league.
Man, come on.
Next topic.
Look at her face.
Come on.
Look at
Next
her
topic.
face.
Hey, man, I already know P called him. He called P. P gave him some advice.
Hey, but hey, are y'all copping these though?
I thought about it.
Them J. Cole's all right, bro.
I thought about it.
Huff, you copping?
Negative. They look like they're gonna hurt my feet.
I agree, huh?
J. Cole.
You buy them shoes and then you wear them for a bit. You're like, man, my feet are killing me.
Hey, they gonna feel like them fake forces I used to sell.
These Huff's team shoes this year?
Man, there you go, boy. That's what y'all wearing this weekend over at Hoop Scene while you tripping.
Hey, I rock these joints. Shoot, you tripping? These the Meek Mill, Pumas right here.
All your players gonna have messed up ankles.
Hey, they already do. So
We talking about J. Cole shoe release, man. So
that was J. Cole. First and foremost, J. Cole should not be getting anywhere near anybody's NBA tryout.
So you missed my part when he said that earlier, Bryce, and I just I didn't talk about.
I can think of 3,000 people better than J. Cole.
okay, hold on. Hey, do y'all not see J. Cole making wide open jumpers?
Who is J. Cole guarding?
So
Who
I
is
can
he
get a
guarding?
tryout. I can do that too.
Come on, man. Like,
I can do
Who
that
is he
too.
guarding?
that looks like the Holy Innocents Falcony student game, bro. Like,
That was
Oh,
ridiculous.
wow.
Like,
Hey, that's how Melo came back. Matter of fact, hey, Bryce, you owe Melo an apology.
I do. You know what? I actually meant to
Melo
post it
6'7",
at Melo
man.
apology report card because I am wrong. I was wrong.
what are you wrong about?
Well, I was partially wrong because I said Melo can't get in the league because he don't guard anybody, which is still kind of true. But he's playing, he hooping though. Melo balling. Yeah, he hooping.
Hooping.
Hey.
But no to J. Cole, even though
What
he's
rappers y'all think have a good chance
None.
None.
to make the
None.
league?
None.
No?
I mean,
I
J.
will
Cole.
say this.
I think 2
I
Chainz.
will say this. 2 Chainz may have a better shot at making the league than he do tonight because I heard he getting smacked.
I mean, we all know.
I already told y'all Rick Ross was going to get at this, man. It was going to be like 20-5. Like, we knew that was going to happen.
Man, I don't
Rick
think anybody thought. I don't think. Well, I ain't gonna say. Don't think anybody. There were very few people that thought 2 Chainz was gonna win that battle.
It's gonna be tough.
Man, there's so many people who think 2 Chainz gonna win that battle. And every time they say 2 Chainz, I look at you like you just must not have an idea like of music.
Well,
Like,
I'll tell you something I have learned though. It's all about now. It's gonna be pretty tough for 2 Chainz, period. But if you have a closer battle, it's all about what song goes up against what song.
that's true.
Because there was a battle that I didn't think could be won that took place on Monday. There was an internal battle with some coaches. We got on the Zoom, and this guy was saying T.I. was better than Jeezy. And in reality, I didn't think Jeezy could stand a chance.
He doesn't.
But if you play the wrong song at the wrong time, then you get
who-
beat.
And who is in control of the records, bro? Like that.
I'm not gonna put my man out there like that, man. I'm not gonna put my man out there like that.
Yeah, y'all gotta let somebody else.
I will say it was not somebody from the South.
They automatically disqualified. That's yeah. Record placement though. That's true, Huff. Record placement and when you play what matters.
Yeah, but record placement does matter, but not when we're talking about Rick Ross.
Not
I said that first. Now, I said
Yeah.
every record sounds like a single when it's Rick Ross.
Rick
Record
Ross,
sounds like
Rick
it's single.
Ross is different. Like he's
He got too many songs that he can play that nobody can beat. Drake versus Jay-Z. And be real.
Look,
Be real.
here's the thing.
I ain't gonna even
Drake
lie.
might
Be
win.
real. Don't
Drake
front.
might win because he's still in the game. Drake been in the game for a long time.
And the boy is still killing.
He's killing. Now I'm a huge Jay-Z fan. Like it don't get no bigger than me than Jay-Z. But
I think that was gonna depend on product placement. Meaning when you play what song versus what song.
I mean, like if Jay-Z throws out like Big Pimpin' or Girls, Drake got something that can go back for that.
He does, but it depends. But that means you got to draw. That's what I said. So it's going to depend, like, because you can't have every song for everybody else's other song.
Hey, let's just be honest, dog. When Drake start pulling out them DJ Khaled joints, and he start pulling out, you know what I mean? Like he's gonna pull out some shit.
But Jay-Z on some stuff too now.
Where
but Jay-Z's best stuff was long ago, whereas Drake is still pumping out hits.
And Jay-Z stuff is gonna win to us, but Drake stuff was meant to win, like you said, Huff, for the world. Drake make records for the world, dog.
Hey, you that type of dude that go against you and then go try to use what you say against you when you weren't using it before.
Hey man, I'm just imagining, right? You watching this battle with a nice young lady, right? We're gonna be feeling all nostalgic about a Jay-Z record.
You already know the lady gonna go with Drake, so why?
Dog, it's over, dog.
Yeah.
It's over, dog. It's gonna get. It could get.
I don't think that can be a real battle. You got to have a battle that doesn't have any biases. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, I felt like this was gonna be a good show. I pulled out the cup from Wet Willie's today, though.
Hey, I miss Wet Willie's. Oh,
that was an Atlanta staple, man.
That was
when they opened that up, things got real wild off Piedmont.
It's a good time.
Right.
That little upstairs, that little loft they got upstairs. Go there, hang out.
The wings was good. The food.
Hey, what was it across? What was across from there? That little spot, the other club over there across the street.
Rose Bar.
Not Rose Bar. Not Rose Bar. Dang.
Infusion?
It was two. It was Gold Room, and then next to Gold Room was another
Tongue
one.
and Groove?
Tongue and Groove, yeah.
I'm finna throw this battle out because it's my era. It's not yours, Huff. It's not mine. Lil Bow Wow versus Soulja Boy.
I'm done.
That's tough. Hey,
honestly, I got Bow Wow. I got Bow Wow winning that. I don't know.
And I don't want to hear Bow Wow, to be honest with you.
Big Draco got hit, dog.
Draco got hits.
Draco got hits, dog.
Draco got hits, man.
That would be very entertaining too.
But I think that's another one, man. Like, you know who the women gonna choose?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
No.
It depends on the woman. Come on, Locke. You know, it depends on the woman.
Hey, when Draco played Kiss Me
Pretty
Through the
Boy
Phone,
Swag, when that Pretty Boy Swag came out.
Facts.
Oh.
That's facts. Draco got hits, dog.
Man, hey man, Soldier.
I don't know. Bow Wow got hits too.
No, he do. But hey, Soldier.
I probably won't watch that, to be honest with you.
Who? I skipped the show for that one.
I want to ask y'all a question, man. So
that's what I grew up on.
Something real crazy and
hold on, Mondre, 1 second before you get started.
Yep.
Rick Ross just played the devil joint with Kanye West. You can't beat that song.
You can't beat that song.
Can't beat that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off like that. What was it? Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah. You can't beat
that.
You got too many songs that you can't beat.
Ooh-wee. My bad.
He got a song produced by Dr. Dre, bro. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, ask DMX when them Dr. Dre songs play. What happens? It's tough. So I I read something that I've never seen before, and I wanted to ask y'all about it because there was an article that got put out about Texas Tech's women's program.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I saw that.
Okay. So I don't want to get into like the really disgusting parts of it. I just want to like skim the surface because if you don't know, go do your Googles and you'll quickly find out like it's some stuff going on I don't want to talk about. But the one thing that I do want to talk about is the heart monitor part. So there are a bunch of transfers from Texas Tech's women's program. There are a bunch of allegations, a bunch of issues. One of them being around heart monitors being forced to be worn on game days. And that supposedly, allegedly, the heart monitor must read out that your heart rate is at 90% capacity or cannot drop below 90% capacity for more than 2 minutes while you're in the game. Or else you end up on like a bad list. They are not the only team using heart monitors because I listen to IG5 stories from college basketball players and they talk about wearing heart monitors at practice and what their score was.
But that's your key at practice.
I've heard that. I want to know what y'all think about having, number one, having a player wear a heart monitor. Number two, judging a player's performance based on them wearing a heart monitor. What do you guys think?
Huff?
Tough, quiet. I hope you got the heart monitors over there. Hold it in.
I don't have any heart monitors, but I can see why they use them at the high major level because it
I can see why they will use them, but you can't. But you can't be abusive with it.
I agree. That's probably my point.
Yeah.
I think it has to be a combination. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm well versed in the heart monitor research to give an accurate depiction.
And so what happens if they take it off?
I mean, if your heart rate drops below a certain amount, if you're getting punished for that, I imagine if you take it off, you definitely getting punished.
Oh, so if I take it off and throw it in your face, I'm probably gonna get sent home.
Whoa, boy.
In this particular situation, it was supposed to be worn during workouts, practices, and games.
Now, I think it can be a good tool to use, but like I said, if you're using it to punish, I think that's a little bit much. But I think it would be good to see so that the athlete knows that they're working hard or where they should be working every day. But if I'm raising the bars for you to work harder and your heart rate to work your heart for it to work harder, like, and to say that you're not working hard enough, I think that's a little bit too much.
I'm going to say this. Coaches are not doctors.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's important. Basketball coaches are not doctors. And I feel like during this particular time, I have to remind people that politicians are not doctors. You're not a scientist if you're a politician. And physicians should be consulted for stuff like this. And I feel like I should leave it at that. And that's going to be one of the questions that I ask to any coach recruiting my child. Are you going to strap a heart monitor to my child? And what do you plan to do with it? Because I feel like we see players who unfortunately have undetected heart issues, who have collapsed, who have passed out, who have passed away, unfortunately. And to me, you're playing a dangerous game. Now, I'm not a doctor either, so maybe it's not as dangerous as I think. But saying that your heart rate is supposed to be at 90% capacity, it kind of makes me believe that if it gets to 100% capacity, that could be problematic.
I would hope they did some research with their strength and conditioning coach.
I would say now that I think about it, I think I've seen a good amount of programs use them and always in their videos and stuff like that, their highlight videos. I think I've seen it.
It's the high major ones, Bryce. It's the high major ones.
Yeah. I think it's wrong as long as you're not abusive with it.
Yeah, from a safety standpoint, I think it's incredible. But I don't know, man. That's tough.
Hey, I ain't mean to interrupt, but we got a lot of comments about this Bow Wow and Soulja Boy battle.
I can't see him.
Hey, somebody got a good comment. Bow Wow is Mr. 106 Park.
Facts. Gotta respect.
So somebody said might as well put Pastor Troy.
Versus who?
Yeah, I don't know.
8 Ball versus MJG.
Man, no.
Pastor
That's
Troy.
it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's disrespectful to 8 Ball and MJG.
Why not?
Nah.
I go UGK versus 8 Ball and MJG though. That would be fun.
I think it's tough to have a battle, even though he getting smoked tonight. It's tough to have a battle with two people from the South or two people from the North.
I agree. I like those cross-region matchups, man. I like that. Don't nobody want no smoke with that heart monitor shit. Hey, what's the? Am I wrong for posting that I'm not watching a damn live feed with the camera from the ceiling? Is that bad?
I mean,
whose live feed got the camera from the ceiling?
I don't want to watch that shit from the roof.
You didn't answer the question though.
Say what?
You didn't answer Locke's question though.
I said whose live feed is from the ceiling?
Shit, Lake Point look like that shit from the roof.
Take your ass up there. You ain't far from the gym. Shit, you gonna complain?
Shit, when I seen this one, it looked like it was from the roof.
Ass to the gym. Which is sippy cup.
Mississippi Cup. Wow.
I gotta have a Darth Vader mask come to the gym now, dog.
Hey, we gonna do the Paul Pierce, T-Mac, Vince Carter.
Oh.
All right, man.
One, bench one, sit one. I mean, cut one.
Go ahead, man.
All right.
You right
Here
up.
it is. Here it is. You got to start one, bench one, cut one. T-Mac, Vince Carter, Paul Pierce. Dre, you up.
Why I gotta go first?
You give the questions, you tell us who go first, so I'm giving the question. You got to go first.
You told everybody to clear out.
Yeah.
God.
Hold on, what we talking about?
Shit, bro. I don't.
Hey,
One,
then
bench one,
I'm
cut
gonna give out another one after that.
All right.
What was the question?
Start one, bench one, cut one. Paul Pierce, T-Mac, Vince Carter.
I think you got to bench T-Mac.
I hate to see it, but
Who's you starting?
I'm starting Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce was a killer, boy.
Hey,
even though he's a LeBron hater, even though
he's not even one of my favorite players.
Paul Pierce was tough, bro.
Mondre?
Right. Hey, yeah. Hey, Gelato. Hey, bro. Paul Pierce, Vince Carter, and T-Mac, right?
Yep.
All in their prime, right?
Yes.
Hey, I ain't saying that. I just said start one.
I'm asking I'm trying to qualify the question. You're
However
saying
you
all in their prime.
want to put it. However you want to make your ranking right for you. Because I'm using their whole career. I'm using based off everything about it.
I haven't looked up a single stat. I have not looked
It may not be a good stat for you.
at anything, right? It is Vince Carter, T-Mac, then Paul Pierce.
So you cutting Paul Pierce.
I don't want to say that.
You are cutting an NBA champion.
That's my order. Yes, because he had. Don't make me say that. I don't want to say that. That's my order. I don't want to be disrespectful. My order is Vince Carter, T-Mac, and Paul Pierce. And what I'm saying is, who do I feel like if I had to rank those players in order and who it was the best player? Shit, I might have to go T-Mac number one.
Overall, best player at T-Mac, but getting the job done.
I gotta give Vince Carter his.
So here's mine. Here's mine, and I'm not going on who I like because I'm really not a Paul Pierce fan. But I'm gonna start T-Mac. I'm gonna bench Paul Pierce, and I'm gonna cut Vince Carter. And why I'm cutting Vince Carter is, as much as I love Vince, I don't ever think he produced when it mattered.
Facts. Missing that three in the corner versus Philly.
That's just my thought. He didn't produce when it mattered.
Okay.
Facts.
No big shots.
But that's why it's a tough. Like, I'm not gonna give you no easy one when you know who you gonna cut.
All right, I got one. Lou Will, Colin Sexton, Sharif Cooper.
That's easy for me.
Come on, bro. That's easy, bro.
Yeah.
Lou Williams not coming off the floor no time.
Lou Williams is starting.
We're talking about high school, just strictly high school.
I'm talking about high school.
Lou Williams is still tough in high school, my guy.
High school, that's a good question, though.
High school, I'll probably go Colin, though.
That's a good question.
No,
good question.
We can be high school or NBA. I'm starting Lou Will.
High school.
Okay. High school.
Are we saying who's the better player? Because Sharif is the only state champion, ain't it?
No, bro. Lou Will won a state championship.
I don't remember him and Mike Mercer winning that state championship.
Hey man, I'm done.
Hey, you talking about now that era is me just moving to Georgia. The Lou Will era, I had just moved here.
Alf Gwinnett won a state championship.
And Pebblebrook didn't, and did McEachern?
Yes,
McEachern was undefeated.
Yeah, you're right.
State championship.
So honestly, I think Sharif might be one of the best high school players we've ever had in the state.
One city of palms,
if not the best.
The most decorated.
Yeah, for sure. Like the year he had last year, I don't think we'll see that.
Most decorated high school player we've ever
had. I
don't
understand how Lou Will had this city when he was in high school.
No, I remember Lou Will. I remember that. I feel like I think I played against Lou Will, but no, Sharif.
Bro, he had people lined up at doors. He had people lined up at doors.
I mean, so did Colin.
So did Colin.
Did you say
Colin had people banging on the locker room door trying to get in?
When Colin showed up,
all I'm saying is Sharif Cooper's accolades last year. Whoa.
Most decorated player we've ever had.
They say bench. They say cut Sharif. It's hard to cut Sharif.
No disrespect to Sharif, but I'm cutting Sharif too.
Well, we know he cut. You still mad about that loss out there at Pope High School when you was at Duluth.
He didn't finish at Pope High School. He wasn't the person that finished at Pope High School. So I'm not mad at that.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
And now he might be mad at Colin though.
Hey, me and George were talking about that last night.
Hey, Colin hit him with that hard bop, sidestep behind the back and hit a three. Hey, Huff, did you throw your clipboard?
No, I turned around. I said, man, what we gonna do? My older assistant, Virgil Amy, said, he crossed his legs. He said, Coach, there's nothing we can do for that.
Colin was so much fun, bro.
Man,
it was so much fun, bro.
And man, these comments tonight are disrespectful. Master P versus Pastor Troy. That's not a battle.
No, it's not a battle.
Hey, they're disrespecting P. Hey, are y'all watching the Chronicles?
Always.
Yes, I'm locked in.
I'm 2 episodes. I don't know if I missed the 3rd episode, but I did catch both the first 2 episodes. So those old albums, how far do y'all go back?
Ice Cream.
I go back to West Coast Bad Boys and 99 Ways to Die.
Is that Ice Cream Man? Or is that
That
before?
was before Ice Cream Man.
No. I'm not going. Ice Cream Man.
I bought West Coast Bad Boys.
Ooh, Dre.
Early adopter, dog. I love this shit.
Ooh.
Love this rap boy shit. Hey, I keep telling people, if you didn't listen to Block Burner Wayne, then you can't tell me about Lil Wayne. If you start listening to Lil Wayne once the Carter came out, like, you late.
So you thought Block Burner Wayne was like, he was like really, really good?
Bro, I'll play a song for you, Huff.
You ain't got to play. I'll listen to it. But I'm just saying, I'm asking you a question.
On the Hot Boys album, the first Hot Boys album, there's a song called Block Burner with that Lil Wayne just got by himself. He was probably 13. That shit was
you thought Lil Wayne was the best rapper in the Hot Boys when he was 13.
Yes.
It was Juvie.
I don't know what Mike was smoking, so I don't know.
Bro, to me, you can see, yeah, hey, dog, when Lights Out, when that album, when the first Lights Out album came out, but again, before the Carter, I was on Wayne. I was a Wayne fan early, dog. I mean, I respect Juvie. I ain't gonna say that like that 400 Degrees was like, that was crazy.
400 degrees. You see me, I eat.
Hey,
Talk right.
I would
See that 90s? I bought that.
Hey,
Thanks.
I need a brother like Master P. He forced his brothers to rap. They weren't rappers.
The Shocker, now that's a dude that can't rap now.
Hey, can't rap on beat for shit, but he got a platinum album.
Facts. And that first album.
He made that man have a hit. It ain't my fault.
Before that, on the first Silk the Shocker, the bitch, I'm a killer for real. That's no joke. Hey, dog, that shit hard. That shit was hard. That Silk was hard. I gotta put together an old No Limit playlist, dog. I gotta slide in the DMs, dog. I'm gonna share it out.
Hey, do y'all really think Master P was gonna make the roster?
Probably
Dre, you
not.
haven't seen the episode, yeah.
Probably not. Well,
Hey.
how bad was that team though? How bad were they that good then? I can't remember.
Man, P doesn't even look like a basketball player. He looked like somebody I see at the park.
Right.
With
Like
his
J.
shirt off.
Cole. He was like, well, he was better than J. Cole.
My man said he looked like Jay. Y'all gonna stop disrespecting Jay like that.
And who was Master P gonna guard, man? Exactly. He
wasn't gonna play. He was just gonna bring fans.
Yeah, he was gonna be a 13 man. 13 man.
I saw a tweet that said all this J. Cole basketball shit is real cute until you end up on an island with Kyrie and tear every ligament in his body.
Hey, it ain't even gotta be Kyrie.
That it's gonna be tough, man. But I mean, you know.
Hey, what is J. Cole gonna do, right? Because you see it all the time, and LeBron James is barreling down on you.
What is anybody?
But at least these other people know what they're going to like. J. Cole, what do you think? You think his life flashes for his eyes and go, oh my God, why did I do this?
Hey man, close your eyes.
Hold tight.
Hope for the best.
Like Roy Jones Jr.?
Hey, Roy. All right. Roy gonna clean Mike up. Roy gonna clean Mike up. And I'm gonna break down why before the fight. We're gonna have a full-blown conversation. Roy gonna clean Mike up.
Excuse me? You sound crazy.
It sound like he on that gelato, right?
He on them runts. No runts. You wildin', my guy.
all night though, boy. So
yeah. Well, some things me and Maji been on the same page with, but Mike Tyson gonna eat that man alive, boy. You seen them highlights? That man, I can't wait to watch that.
My defense is impregnable.
Hey, wait until round 3. Hey, well, I'm gonna call y'all on the phone once it's round 3, dog.
Who?
To say what? To say what? Man, they rolling that man up out there in that ambulance. They rolling him up out there in that ambulance. Is he dead, Huff? Is he dead, Huff? That's what you're gonna be calling me to say.
We're gonna see. Hey, before we get out of here, man, any players that y'all looking to go see this weekend? Anybody y'all looking to see what's going on with them this weekend?
I'm not gonna have much time to go look and see other players. I'm gonna have my hands full.
You definitely got your hands full. I wonder if y'all see Scooter playing you for Game Elite.
Hey, listen, if I play zone,
way on the bench.
Look, if I play zone, I don't want to hear nobody saying, "Oh man, y'all playing zone AAU." I don't want to hear that.
I'm gonna call you out.
You call me all you want, and I'm gonna say he better make a shot.
Bryce.
Hey, what's your schedule? Bryce, go ahead and announce. What's your schedule?
Game Elite, the 17U, the Adidas team, and then the Game Elite, the other 17U team with Scoop, and then MI.
That's
so
I'm sitting on the bench.
Technically, yeah, Lock want to be back on the sidelines now.
That's why he was asking Herb. That's why he was asking Herb, "Do you want to coach again?"
Exactly. Lock back on the sidelines of Alabama, yelling at the kids. I'm like, dude, you gotta calm down, bro. We need these free throws, bro. You yelling at this kid like he can't even knock the free throws down anymore.
Hey, hold on, man. 2 Chainz brought out strippers. Man, we gotta show some highlights.
They got massage girls massage.
Why they tag me though?
Hey, what our man in the last dance do?
Hey man, I don't know what y'all be hearing. Don't believe those rumors.
Put a lot of business out in the street. I'm looking forward to seeing Scooter at 17U again. Caleb Washington, Robbie, and Tyler Shirley looked out of sorts a little bit.
Hold on, Tyler Shirley played with Game Elite.
Oh, what?
Tyler Shirley plays with Game Elite.
Yeah,
he plays a YRN.
Tyler Shirley
was playing for Game Elite.
Yeah, his team wasn't playing. Team YRN didn't play last week.
Oh, so hey man, I never know when it's temporary or when it's when they're doing a 1-game jersey exchange. I don't know.
We just grabbing jerseys, man. That's the name of the game. We just grabbing jerseys.
So
grabbing jerseys.
What y'all need to do is go listen to the Jamie Shaw podcast where he talked about live stream periods.
I was gonna listen to that tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow.
Yeah, and what college coaches are saying. It's very interesting.
Huff, we already know what college coach is saying, man. We know. Like, come on, man.
I'm gonna listen to it tonight.
We just be bullshitting ourselves into believing otherwise. We know what people saying, man.
We touched on these tweets, and about these tweets, and everybody's now.
It's getting worse.
It's getting out of hand.
These tweets is getting horrible.
Listen. It's a bunch of scouts, and it's a bunch of media, and it's a bunch of stuff, and it's a bunch of bull. It's bad. Like, you guys are sending us tweets. We're seeing your tweets. Best believe they're going in the group chat. And we know what level these kids can play on. And you are not helping.
At all. You're not helping.
Hey, y'all know what's funny? You know how many times people sent me Trent's tweet this week about when I was saying the groupies, adult groupies, and he tweeted it out.
So Trent must have been watching the show.
Yeah, man, I ain't got no problem with Trent. Man, I don't care. I've been saying that for years, but
Trent must have been watching the show. Yeah, it's at
an all-time high, dog.
Conversation is it's
at an all-time. When you keep tweeting out about a kid that's not playing well, and you keep tweeting out about him as if he's playing well, you're not helping. You're making this shit worse.
Yeah.
You're putting a target on his kid's back every time out. You're making it worse. Just let the kid. Man, it's okay to have a bad weekend. It's okay to have a bad game. It's okay to have bad weekends, bro. Like, just let him go through it.
But you know what? The thing is, with all these tweets and all this stuff, is building this momentum for people that don't necessarily need the momentum.
Facts.
Don't like, you know what I mean? Like,
facts. They already have
people. We have people analyzing the game, and we have people analyzing the game, and what it's doing is it's kind of, we're going to see kids at the wrong level. You know what I mean? Playing the wrong level because you're gassing them up when they're not what they are.
I don't think that analyzing the game, Bryce. You're giving them too much credit. They just gassing a certain kid up because they like him.
Well, yeah, and they want views, man. I told you
they want views. That's what's coming down to. Like, people want clicks and they want views, and they're using kids.
Why don't they just say it's about the clicks? It's about the views.
Yeah, they are. No,
because it's going to seem cliche.
They are. Some of them.
I'm just telling you because I'm a guy that tweets. They're going to tweet on the same exact kids because that's who all the kids are following. They want to get followers.
They want to build their
brand out there, so they're going to tweet on the same kids.
Yep.
Even with videos, sometimes some of the video guys do videos of the same kids.
Same ones over and over again.
It needs to
stop. They got to follow them.
It needs to stop. It's trash. And I would go all the way up to overtime and slam and all that. That shit is trash, bro. I watch a game, a kid play like shit, and he gets highlights put out. It's just
it happens. Well, it at this point.
Are you referring to Slam?
Slam is definitely trash. They're clout chasing and trash for that shit. Like I'm tired of that with them, bro. Like I'm tired of that. Just show the highlights for the kids that play good.
Maybe they don't know those kids.
No, those kids don't have a following. They don't have a K on their followers. They have 800 followers. That's just the name of the game. I hate to say it. It's not gonna stop, man. It's not gonna stop.
Look at that. I'll show you how far behind I am in comments. That just came through. Dre got a good ear. I know.
Hey man, do you see how this man just put the comment about him up? But then
man, that's a selfish point guard. That's a selfish point guard.
His comments way back there that was talking other stuff, man.
I'm showing y'all how far back I am. I'm sure there's more comments that I still can't see. I'm still seeing juvenile comments come through.
We all know he's not a pass first guard.
Lock, I just put your comment up, dog.
It's proven.
Y'all terrible. Hey, I'm gonna show some a highlight of a kid real quick. We've shown them before. I just want to show love to another kid that's playing good, 16U. And then we can get out of here, man.
Man, I love them scripters. Man, I love them.
Show love to the killers, dog. That's all I'm saying. We're gonna send y'all out with some highlights of Anthony Arrington.
Hey man, I showed him before, man.
Yeah, we did. I just said that. You got the eye huff.
Oh, point guard gave me an assist. Oh.
I just want to shout out to Dr. Chris Watkins too. Like that's primary to why I'm showing this highlight is because Chris Watkins highlight.
Chris is a real one.
Chris ain't no frills, no thrills. Like he just gonna show your plays. Ain't no tricks, none of that.
Yeah, he get it back on the court.
Southern, if he's showing your highlights, you play good. Shout out to Chris.
Yakum. He got some good ass footwork.
Sheesh.
Very good player.
Very, very
Hey.
good player over at the Galloway School.
No, he's a problem. Did y'all see all the masks? That was good.
That was good. Yeah, saw that. Throw the mask on, man. It ain't nothing wrong with the mask. It's a fashion statement. Man.
I wish that. No, I'm not gonna make that comment I was about to make.
Ross just got that banger. Oh my gosh.
It looks like there was more masks at the event than there were at some schools that started this week.
Ooh. I seen some kid got suspended for putting that picture of Paulding County.
They gave that school bad pub to put the picture out.
How can you suspend somebody for that?
Wow, what are we doing, man? What are we doing?
It must be social media policy or something. Like, what's going on? How they do that?
Damn, man.
Yeah, let me be.
Rick Ross he turned the 2 Chainz back to Titty Boy right now.
Yeah, Rick Ross is getting this man up out the tank. My guy.
Damn, Titty.
Hey, I ain't touching that Paulding County stuff. I ain't touching none of that. I ain't on that.
Why? It's facts. The kids got
facts. It's facts. It definitely happened. I mean,
and it's not just Paulding County either. By the way,
in my neighborhood, it definitely happened. So
it's not just Paulding County.
That's facts.
Damn.
But hey, man, that's our show. That's our time. We love you guys. I'm gonna try to get over and catch the last few minutes of Rick Ross giving 2 Chainz this
Why do
work.
you want to catch that? What you want to see? You want to see a dead body? You want to see a dead body?
Yes.
Hey, man.
Celebrate.
Don't do titty like that. Y'all gonna be listening to Titty in the morning. I'm riding around. I'm getting it.
It's
I'm
okay.
riding around. I'm getting it.
Man, I can understand how it might be kind of
Bryce, you about to get us banned, dog. You
I
too
know,
good.
man. They're gonna cut us off.
you much fun to be
Love
free.
y'all, man. Y'all be good.
I just want you to know